Hello, everyone. My name's Ed Gilbert. I've had the privilege of serving as the Bainbridge Island Land Trust Board President for the last 2 years. I'm now passing that honor on to Sally Hewett, my fellow board member. Sally's here with us today. Sally?
Thank you for serving as board president, Ed. Great job. And hello to all of you. Welcome to the Land Trust's annual meeting. As board president of the Bainbridge Island Land Trust, I look forward to the great things we will accomplish together in 2022 and beyond. Let us open this community celebration by acknowledging that we are gathering on the ancestral homelands of the Coast Salish peoples who have lived throughout the Salish Sea since time immemorial. We hold the deepest respect for our indigenous neighbors, the Suquamish tribe and the Port Gamble Sklallam tribe, who have always and continue to care for and protect these lands and waters.
Thank you, Sally. While we all wish that we are together in person with our friends and neighbors for the island's best potluck, thanks to technology, you can still be with us today. 2021 was an incredible year for the Land Trust. We have so much to tell you about.
That's right. And one of the announcements that the Land Trust would like to celebrate is the start of our new Executive Director, Cullen Brady. While you might recognize Cullen from his time on our board or as Development and Communications Director, we are so excited for the future of the Land Trust under his passionate leadership.
Thank you so much, Ed and Sally. While the last year was full of change, for the Land Trust and the world, the one thing that hasn't changed is the unwavering support from our community. That allowed us to safeguard even more critical habitats and further the stewardship of those lands and waters entrusted in our care. Whether you support us because you love wild, natural spaces, or protect habitats for our non-human neighbors, or because these landscapes are your solace, we are grateful that you share a common vision of an ecologically sound future for Bainbridge Island. I'm so honored and humbled to be asked to lead this organization into its next exciting chapter. I want to thank Jane Stowe for leading this organization to so many conservation successes in recent years. We've all been so grateful for her dedication to the mission of the Land Trust and helping many of us connect to the places we love. In 2021, we continue to advance a goal that we've been striving towards since 2017. That year, Stand for the Land, the largest and most ambitious campaign in Land Trust history, was launched. This goal was to protect as many crucial environments as possible. And this past October, we closed on the fifth property in this effort, Rockaway Bluff Preserve, an intact upland forest above Rockaway Beach. I look forward to announce the next success in this conservation campaign in the coming months. Thank you all for your steadfast support and the hours you volunteer to advance the work of the Land Trust. For now, let's take a visit to Rockaway Bluff Preserve.
Welcome to Rockaway Bluff Preserve, the Land Trust's newest property. We are surrounded by an incredible mature forest, primarily made up of grand fir and big leaf maple. Some of these trees are nearly 150 years old.
Just 7.5 miles from Seattle, this forest canopy provides essential refuge for many species, especially birds escaping the urban sprawl. The snakes house cavity dwellers of all kinds, from flying squirrels to salamanders and birds. The protection of this upland forest continues our efforts to enhance a network of lands resilient to climate change as well.
This breathtaking 35-acre property, the largest conservation opportunity in the campaign thus far, brings a total critical habitat acreage protected by Stand for the Land to an astounding 100 acres. This would not be possible without your support. Thank you for helping us safeguard Rockaway Bluff Preserve.
The Land Trust is currently pursuing additional opportunities to expand Rockaway Bluff Preserve in ways that would allow us to connect it to an existing public trail network.
Rockaway Bluff Preserve isn't yet open to the public. but nearly 300 people have experienced the property on a tour with the Land Trust. If you're interested in visiting the preserve, I encourage you to reach out to the Land Trust to schedule a tour.
One of the best parts of my job is getting to work so closely with our volunteers. Whether it be pulling ivy at a work party, lending a hand at the native plant sale, helping out in the office, or monitoring a conservation easement, our volunteers put in nearly 2,000 hours of invaluable work in 2021. Thank you all for your dedication and helping care for these lands and waters. We hope to see you again in 2022.
Speaking of volunteers, we want to tell you about our new volunteer group, the Friends of Agate Passage Preserve.
This is the Agate Passage Preserve shoreline property. Over the years, we've had a lot of volunteer help here, mostly ad hoc help for specific projects. The most memorable one for me was several years ago when we planted hundreds of new native plants. And just after planting them, we had 3 successive years of the hottest, driest summers ever. And we had a great large group of volunteers who rotated in and out and dragged hoses all over the property to water these new plants and keep them going. And you can see the results right here behind me, these shore pines. These were part of those initial plantings, and boy, are they happy here. Since that time, we've had an idea to form a Friends of group, a group that can continue to steward the property on a regular, ongoing basis.
With just 2 full-time stewardship staff, the Land Trust has a lot of ground to cover when it comes to caring for all 1,471 acres of land under our protection. By creating the Friends of Agate Passage Preserve, we are able to empower and teach local conservation enthusiasts and our neighbors to come on out and help us with stewarding the preserve independent of staff presence.
In December, when the group started, we also planted some additional new native plants. And during that month, our 33-member group devoted 81 hours to taking care of the preserve.
Our goal is to create additional Friends groups for other preserves on the island. So if you want to be involved or have your favorite preserve be the next one with a Friends group, let us know. We'll try to make it happen, and hopefully we'll get to see you in 2022.
Since 2000, our native plant sale has been a major event for Islanders and Land Trust supporters. Last year, it was bigger than ever, and for the first time, we invited community partners to join in on the fun with information booths. We also enjoyed some engaging talks from John van den Mieredonk of the Hardy Fern Foundation and Azure Beret, the Traditional Foods Program Coordinator for the Squamish tribe. With face-to-face time with those around us so rare nowadays, this gathering was such a wonderful way to safely enjoy each other's company and learn about all of the ways that native plants enrich our lives and the ecosystems of Bainbridge Island.
Hi everyone, I'm Gina King, wildlife biologist here at the Bainbridge Island Land Trust. I'd like to share a couple of tools with you that we're using to understand our wildlife and our habitat networks. One really useful tool is a remote trail camera. These cameras are pretty good at capturing images of mammals especially, to let us know what animals we definitely have on the island and how they're using particular locations on our preserves. Now here's an example of what we've captured from our camera set overlooking the estuary on our Miller-Kirkman Preserve. We've seen that when this tide is in, we have all sorts of use by waterfowl, including about 70 common mergansers all feeding together.
Every year, the Bainbridge Island Land Trust honors a community member who exemplifies our mission with the Phyllis Young Award. The award was named for Phyllis Young, the first person to grant a conservation easement to the Land Trust back in 1990. Our board of directors unanimously voted to posthumously honor Ferris Anderson. Ferris was a dedicated, longtime Land Trust member, and upon his passing, he left his island home to the Land Trust. The impact of his generous gift will be monumental, allowing the Land Trust to accelerate its pace for island conservation. Thank you, Ferris.
Good evening. The Joe Schaefer Volunteer of the Year Award was established to honor a Land Trust volunteer who, by action and example, exemplifies the mission of the Land Trust. This year, we are honoring Rob Crichton. Rob's dedication to advancing conservation through his leadership and legal advocacy, defense, and mediation has helped the Land Trust forward through challenging and complex issues over the years. Just in the last 3 years, he's helped us save a conservation easement from an eminent domain proceeding, protected an estate from a collateral attack, helped us through a mediation to settle this claim, and helped us manage potential litigation in the context of selling the underlying real property subject to that gift. He's been busy. We are so grateful for his willingness to share his time, talents, and expertise, all of which have resulted in extraordinary land protection and conservation gains. Thank you, Rob, for your commitment to our mission. And I'm going to be giving Rob this plaque.
Very nice.
And thank you very much, Rob. And a few words?
Yeah, sure. You know, it brings me a lot of pleasure to be able to support the Land Trust in a tangible way. I've lived on the island over 30 years. I've watched a lot of changes in the island, and I've been a supporter of the Land Trust for 30 years. And it's done such great work, and the island would not be the same without it. It takes vision and hard work to shape, you know, in the landscape of this great island. And I'm just happy that I can bring my skill set to bear to help something that's near and dear to my heart. So I do appreciate the recognition, but I'm psyched by all of the work that the Land Trust has done as it's grown from its infancy 30 some odd years ago. And just, I grew up in New York City. I went to school, and I'm long-winded, sorry, but I went to school where during breaks, we played ball in the street where the manhole cover was the touchdown line or second base. But New York City, Manhattan would not be the same without Central Park. We have the Grand Forest, and we now have these trails that connect. You can go for miles. You don't have to have money. You don't have, it's not just for the elite. Everybody gets the benefit of this amazing land we live around. And it is so important to my emotional well-being and my psychic well-being to be out there on those properties and to know that they're preserved. And the Land Trust is just a great organization, and thank you for all your work.
Well, thank you so much for your help for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Board Vice President Jenny Lange, and I'm here at the Quetzalcoatl Preserve. We'd like to introduce our slate of incoming board members: Fred Hoffer, Susan Bland, Lori Weiss, and Steve Todd. Fred Hoffer is a retired pediatrician and radiologist who loves to slay invasive plants. Susan Bland created a nature preserve on Fox Island, and she co-founded the Institute for Functional Medicine. Lori Weiss had a 38-year career in strategic planning and forecasting before retiring to Bainbridge Island. She's served for 2 years on our finance committee. Steve Todd has lived on Bainbridge Island on and off since the 1970s, and he has professional experience in watersheds, salmon ecology, and restoration. He's served for the last 3 years on our Stewardship committee. In addition to these, Nicole Bavo is standing for re-election for her second term on the board. Voting for all of these candidates closes tomorrow night, January 29th. You should have received an email with a link to vote, or you can go to our website at bi-landtrust.org. Please be sure to vote, and thanks.
As we bring in new board members, that means we are also saying goodbye to those who have fulfilled their service. With gratitude, we thank Andrea Adams, who chaired our Organizational Development Committee, Grant Blackington, a dedicated member of our Stewardship Committee, Zan Merriman, who helped develop and lead the incredible Stand for the Land campaign as its founding co-chair, and Greg Guillen, the co-chair of our Stewardship Committee, for all that they have done in their time with the Land Trust. Thank you so much for tuning in for the Bainbridge Island Land Trust 2022 annual meeting. We hope to see you out on the land here at our Springbrook Creek Preserve open house tomorrow, January 29th. Drop by any time from 10 to 1. Looking forward to seeing you here.